Hello everyone. Today in the part 7 of the NEET PG important questions, we will discuss about the questions of the topic salivary gland. So first of all, try to answer the questions by yourself first. So first of all, the largest salivary gland is, it is the parotid gland. Parotid gland is mainly made up of what? Serous acini. Anteriorly, the parotid gland is related to what? To the ramus of the mandible. While posteriorly, the parotid gland is related to the mastoid process, and medially the parotid gland is related to what? To the styloid process. Structure separating the parotid and the submandibular gland. It is what? It is the stylomandibular ligament. Structures entering or coming out from the apex of the parotid gland, they are anterior and the posterior division of the retromandibular vein and the cervical branch of facial nerve. Now, structures entering or coming out from the base of the parotid gland, they are superficial temporal artery and vein and the auriculotemporal nerve. Structures entering or coming out from the posterior border of the parotid gland, they are posterior auricular artery and vein and the posterior auricular branch of facial nerve. The largest surface of the parotid gland is what? Is which surface? It is the superficial, or we can say lateral surface of the parotid gland is the largest surface of it. Now, what are the contents of the parotid gland? They are facial nerve, external carotid artery and the retromandibular vein. Now, the most superficial structure in the parotid gland, it is the facial nerve. Now, the most deep structure in the parotid gland, it is the external carotid artery. Structure in the intermediate zone in the parotid gland, it is the retromandibular vein. Now, transverse facial artery is actually a branch of superficial temporal artery. Parotid gland is divided into superficial and the deep faciovenous plane by what? By the facial nerve. Parotid duct opens into vestibule of mouth at opposite to the crown of the second maxillary molar tooth. Structures pierced by the parotid duct are buccal pad of fat and buccopharyngeal fascia, buccinator muscle and the buccal mucosa. Parotid gland is supplied by what? Is supplied by auriculotemporal nerve and the great auricular nerve. Now, parotid gland develops from what? It develops from the ectoderm. Cervicofacial trunks of the facial nerve gives which branches? So, they basically gives the buccal branch, cervical branch and the marginal mandibular branch. Secretomotor fibers to parotid gland are through what? Are through the otic ganglion. Secretomotor nerve for parotid gland is, it is the glossopharyngeal nerve. Parotid gland starts developing at the 6th week of intrauterine life. So, the parotid gland actually starts developing during the intrauterine life only. Now, the lymphatics draining parotid gland are, they are the superficial parotid lymph nodes, deep parotid lymph nodes and the deep cervical lymph nodes. Commonest causes of the parotid enlargement in the children. Remember, in the children, it is the mumps. Now, the most common tumor of the parotid gland, it is the pleomorphic adenoma, which is the most preferred incision or method to drain the parotid abscess. So, it is the Hilton's method. Now, this method basically ensures that no blood vessels or nerve in the vicinity is basically damaged by doing this particular drainage method. Now, anterior and the posterior belly of the digastric muscle are what kind of muscles? So, they are, remember, the anterior one is unipinnate while the posterior one is the bipinnate. Now, how is the digastric muscle inserted and where it is inserted? So, it is inserted by the intermediate tendon on the hyoid bone. Now, what is deep to the posterior belly of digastric muscle? So, carotid sheath with its contents are deep to the posterior belly of digastric muscle. What runs on superior border of the digastric muscle? So, posterior auricular artery and the stylohyoid basically runs on the superior border of the digastric muscle. Now, what runs on the lower border of the digastric muscle? So, the occipital artery over here. Actions of the mylohyoid muscle are, it basically elevates the floor of the mouth in the deglutination process. It depresses the mandible against the resistance and also elevates the hyoid bone. Now, what are the superficial relations of the hyoglossus muscle? So, they are lingual nerve, hypoglossal nerve, deep part of the submandibular gland, submandibular ganglion, and the staloglossus muscle. Now, what are the deep relations of the hyoglossus muscle? So, they are the genioglossus muscle, glossopharyngeal nerve, and the stalohyoid ligament. Structures passing deep to the posterior border of the hyoglossus muscle, they are lingual artery, glossopharyngeal nerve, and the stalohyoid ligament. Now, lingual nerve arises from the posterior division of the mandibular nerve. What are the distributions of the lingual nerve? So, they are gingival branch, basically from the inner surface of the gums, secretomotor fibers to the submandibular and the sublingual gland, and the branches to the anterior tooth of the tongue are the distribution of the lingual nerve basically. Now, while entering the submandibular region, hypoglossal nerve crosses what? It crosses the external carotid artery, loop of the lingual artery, and the internal carotid artery. Now, what are the parts of the submandibular gland? So, large superficial and a small deep part. Now, which type of gland submandibular gland is? So, it is the mixed type of gland. The submandibular gland is situated below and posterior to which muscle? So, over here, the mylohyoid muscle. Medial surface of the superficial part of the submandibular gland in the anterior 1/3 is related to the mylohyoid muscle, mylohyoid nerves and vessels, and the submandibular branch of the facial artery. Medial surface of the superficial part of the submandibular gland in middle 1/3 part is related to what? To the hyoglossus muscle, lingual and the hypoglossal nerves, and the submandibular ganglion. Medial surface of the superficial part of the submandibular gland in the posterior 1/3 is related to what? To the stalohyoid ligament, staloglossus muscle, glossopharyngeal nerve, and the middle constrictor of the pharynx, means the middle constrictor muscle of the pharynx. Now, lateral surface of the superficial part of the submandibular gland is related to what? To the submandibular fossa on the inner aspect of the body of the mandible, to the facial artery, and to the medial pterygoid muscle. Now, what are the relations of the submandibular gland? So, over here, medially the relation of the submandibular gland is, it is the hyoglossus muscle, laterally mylohyoid muscle, superiorly lingual nerve and the submandibular ganglion, and inferiorly there is this particular submandibular gland is between the hyoglossus muscle and the mandible bone. Now, submandibular duct is also known as what? It is also known as the Wharton's duct. Submandibular duct runs on the hyoglossus muscle between what? Between the lingual nerve and the hypoglossal nerve. Submandibular duct opens in basically in the mouth between the tongue on the sublingual papilla at the side of the lingual frenulum. Lymphatic drainage of the submandibular gland is what? It is the jugulodigastric lymph node. Secretomotor nerve supply to the submandibular glands comes through which ganglion? So, a submandibular ganglion. Anatomically and functionally, the secretomotor nerve supply of the submandibular glands comes through what? Comes through the lingual nerve and the facial nerve respectively. So, remember, anatomically this particular secretomotor nerve supply of the submandibular gland comes through the lingual nerve, and if we talk about functionally, this particular secretomotor fibers or because the nerve supply of submandibular gland comes through the facial nerve. Which is the smallest salivary gland? It is the sublingual gland. Location of the sublingual gland is, it is the basically located under the oral mucosa above oral diaphragm in the sublingual fossa. Which ganglion is secretomotor to sublingual gland? It is the submandibular ganglion. Now, superficial relation of the hyoglossus muscle is lingual nerve, hypoglossal nerve, and the deep part of the submandibular gland. What is the structure and the origin of the salivary glands? So, over here, remember, the parotid gland is actually having the pyramidal structure and is ectoderm in origin. Submandibular gland is J-shape, okay, and is endoderm in origin. and the sublingual gland is almond in shape and is endodermal in origin. So remember over here, only the parotid gland out of these 3 salivary glands are ectodermal in origin, rest 2 are endodermal in origin. Now duct of the sublingual gland is known as what? Is known as duct of Rivinus. Now the nerve most commonly damaged in the submandibular gland surgeries. It is the lingual nerve, very important question. Now the artery most commonly damaged in the submandibular gland surgeries. It is the facial artery. So today up till here, we will discuss about the questions of the further topics in the further videos. Thank you so much.